Right, let me share my screen with you. Can you see the screen? I cannot hear you all. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Right. Today we are learning about contemporary challenges and issues in education. Every day we are facing a lot of challenges and a lot of issues when it comes to education. Not only in education, whatever the field that we are working in, we have to face all these challenges and issues. Right? That is one thing. Now we'll see what is happening when it comes to challenges and issues uh, in education. Right. Tanuja, can you read this?
Contemporary. Things that are contemporary are either happening at the same time or happening now. Contemporary art is recent art. In history class, if you hear that one famous person was a contemporary of another, that means they lived at the same time. Contemporaries are people and things from the same time period. Contemporary can also describe things happening now or recently. It's common to speak of contemporary music or contemporary furniture, for example. Those things are new, not old. Anything characteristic of the present day can be called contemporary.
Right. Now I have given the meaning of what contemporary is, right? So this is the meaning. What I have described here, the meaning. What do you mean by contemporary? So things that are contemporary are either happening at the same time or happening now. Same time or happening now. Contemporary art is recent art, right? Now I don't have to read the whole thing. So, but still for all, you can understand by reading this particular slide. So, contemporary is recent or happening at the same time. Right. So, what do you feel when you look at this picture?
She is very sad.
Very sad. When it comes to education, right? When it comes to study,
Yeah.
yeah, very sad. Can you see these children nowadays also? Do you all come across students like this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
exactly, right? Right. What is the effect of class size on student learning? Now, before I go to that particular slide, tell me why these children are facing a lot of challenges and issues when it comes to education. We are thinking of the children's side, right? From the students' point of view, just let me know why these children are facing a lot of challenges and lot of issues when it comes to education. Do you feel that these children are facing a lot of challenges every day?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Because when we consider about their family background, day-to-day activities happening in their family will definitely affect their emotions, first of all.
exactly.
And after that, when they are not interested with that particular subject or particular teacher, they will definitely show these type of emotions in the classroom.
Yes, Tanuja.
Another thing is that sometimes the syllabus and what we expect from them is far too ahead according to their age and the capabilities. So the parents keep on pushing them, and then the stress on them becomes more. That is also, I think, a very common thing happening for nowadays children.
Overloaded syllabus, right? The overloaded work. Right. We'll see what are the challenges that they face. Right. These are the things what I have included, but there may be many more things. And today your class will be from 8 to 10. You must have got to know, right? So 8 to 10, and the other thing, I'm not giving a break. Since we are having only 2 hours, so without having a break, we'll just go. Are you agree? Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear.
Right. Did you hear what I was telling?
Not clear, ma'am.
Not clear, right? So I told that today you all are having 2 hour session, not 3 hour session.
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Okay. So that I thought of not giving a break because we are having only for 2 hours now. So without having a break, we will continuously we will do. Agree?
Okay, ma'am.
Right. Okay. Now, what is the effect of class size on student learning? Even class size matters, right? When it comes to challenges, when it comes to a bigger class, who will be having issues?
Slow learners.
All the students.
Slow learners.
Slow learners, okay? And
Passive students, like inactive students.
uh, so we'll consider that this is a smart class, right? The best class. So there are about 50 students in that particular class. Who will have issues? There are no slow learners, there are no passive learners,
Actually, all will have, ma'am.
all students, right? What about the teacher? Won't the teacher have
Teacher will
issues?
be the first person having problems, ma'am.
Exactly, because now the class control is the first thing, right? No point of being a teacher if you cannot control the classroom. So that is one of the main aspects that we have to consider. We must consider, right? Now, okay, Abhirami, can you read this?
So, ma'am, what is the effect of class size on student learning? The debate over class size has been waged in Alberta for decades. It came to the fore in 1980 during the Calgary Public Teachers' Strike and was the subject of a recommendation of the Craftsman Report. The Craftsman Commission was created to investigate the 1980 Calgary strike and to make recommendations. The issue of class size has again become the subject of debate thanks to the many attempts in the US to reform the public education system.
Right. Now there was a debate about the over class size, debate over class size, right? When it comes to a bigger class, now it happened for me to visit St. Joseph's recently. Also last Friday, not last Friday, last Friday in the morning I went to St. Joseph's, Maradan, right? Their classroom, the size of the classroom is big, but the capacity we can accommodate about 45 children easily. But they have accommodated only 30 children in one particular class, 30 to 35, not more than 35. They have 7 parallel classes, 35 is the maximum. When it comes to from grade 9 to 13, right? That is a good number. But when it comes to Finland, that is why they say that they are providing the best education. When it comes to Finland, there are one-to-one sessions as well. More than that, when it comes to class size, there are only 15 students maximum. So with 15 students, won't a teacher have a free mind to tackle all the children? I mean, he or she doesn't have to put that much of effort when it comes to teaching. But when it comes to a bigger classroom, definitely a teacher has to put more effort in controlling the class. And what will happen when it comes to individual attention? Can teacher pay individual attention on children? Can they pay individual attention?
No, ma'am.
No, they cannot, right? Vijita, you are here today, right? What happened yesterday? Why didn't you join?
Yes, I had the program. Yes,
So yesterday's you have to go through the recordings because
record.
we were
Yes.
discussing the assignment as well.
Okay, I'll go through.
Okay,
Okay.
right. So there was a debate on class size. They were debating on this particular topic because there was a strike, right? Calgary Public Teachers strike. So this because of this strike only they were right considering to have a debate on class size. The issue of class size has again become the subject of debate thanks to many attempts in the US to reform the public education system. So they were right. When it comes to European countries, of course, yes, class size is, the amount of children, the number of children are lesser when we compare to Sri Lankan schools, right? Vijita, can you read this?
Yes. Teachers' view of class size has always been clear. Teachers believe that smaller classes provide better quality and a richer environment for pupils, while making teaching more enjoyable for the teacher. Substantial research has been conducted in the US on class size, though most of the studies have attempted simply the use of results as a measure of the effectiveness of class size. There does appear to be some consensus on the following 3 points.
Right. We have got 3 points, right? We'll see what the 3 points are. Now, when it comes to teacher's view of class size has always been clear. No teacher will like to teach in a compact classroom, right? When there are more than 50. Sometimes there are more than 50. I know that in some particular classes, when it comes to English medium, if there is only one particular class, English medium one class, then all the English medium students will be in that particular class. There is also when they have English medium Tamil children and English medium Sinhala students, right? So when it comes to mathematics, mathematics will be conducted in English medium. So the children who are in Tamil medium, they are doing mathematics in English. So when it comes to that particular subject, so the class will be merged. So there are more than 60 to 70 children. If it is in a hall, of course, yes, we will be able to manage, but not in a classroom, right? I know that tuition masters, when it comes to tuition masters, so some tuition masters, they have about 3,000 to 5,000 students. So are they paying attention? But when it comes to bigger children, like Oliver's children, we don't have to go behind them because they have this urge of learning, right? If you don't have an urge, when we have to push all the children, when it comes to all of us children, they are not into education that much, right? They don't pay attention, they don't want to learn, they are not guided properly. That is the main issue. Now, when it comes to Sri Lanka, children are not that much they are not disciplined. So in that case, if the children are disciplined, if they follow the rules and regulations properly, so a teacher won't have a problem. But still for all, nowadays, with these discipline issues, the class size matters a lot. Right. Teachers believe that smaller classes provide better quality and a richer environment for pupils while making teaching more enjoyable for the teacher. Not only for the teacher, it will be more enjoyable for the children as well. When we can have group discussions, we have more time to look into each one's work, right? Now, when it comes to 50 odd, so teacher is unable within the given period to go and check all the books. the more the class size is getting bigger, right? So the teacher does not have time to pay uh, to consider the children students work, right? And sometimes a teacher is unable to correct the books as well, because just imagine if you are giving 10 questions, 10 into 50, 500 questions to be marked. How can a person work like that? So also, not only for debating, we have to take that particular topic to the parliament as well here in Sri Lanka. However, substantial research have been conducted in the US on class size. Although most of the studies have attempted simply to use test results as a measure of effectiveness of class size, there does appear to be some consensus on the following 3 points. Let's discuss what the 3 points are. Smaller class sizes result in higher achievement. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Smaller class sizes result in higher achievement. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Yeah, right. Among students who are economically disadvantaged, we know that when it comes to a school, there are different types of people coming from different areas and different backgrounds. So we have to consider all these things. So sometimes they are economically disadvantaged people. Sometimes they are wealthy people. They are coming from the background is really good. Parents are really concerned about the children's education, right? So when it comes to one moment. Okay, Vijita, doesn't matter. Right. So among students who are economically disadvantaged, smaller class sizes results in students with lower academic ability doing better. That is true, very true, right? I have misplaced all the full stops here. I will correct them when I'm doing it, okay? So it says smaller class sizes results in high achievement, and among students, high achievement among students who are economically disadvantaged. Right. Then smaller class sizes result in students with lower academic ability doing better. Now, even though the child is able to do a better job, but the child is unable to do it because the class size is big when it comes to a big classroom, right? So class size might affect student attitudes more significantly than it affects achievement. So it says class size might affect student attitudes. Why? How can does their personality affect when it comes to a bigger class size? Okay, can we talk about students' personality? From where it comes, the personality?
It basically comes from the family background, ma'am.
Family background, okay. What about by birth?
Some attitudes may be born with a child, ma'am.
Yeah, some inherit things are coming, right? But, however, when it comes to personality, can it be changed? Now we say that one particular person student is coming from a shanty, right? Can the behavior or the personality will be changed?
Yes, madam, it can. Because
Can.
whatever background it is, if we give them correct feedback, we can bring them up to a certain standard. I have experience like that. Like if we don't know whether he's coming from that kind of background, according to the way the person behaves in the classroom, sometimes we can't even guess that
Yeah.
this child. We tell that the background affects. But sometimes there are certain cases who conduct themselves no matter by which background they belong to. So sometimes it is like depends on the person as well. I have experience like that.
Exactly, because anyway, the background matters a lot, right? Sometimes when the children come from this Mattakuli and other places like that, right? So they are dealing with these unwanted people always. Sometimes father is doing all the unwanted businesses, right? And mother is not there. Then that affects the child personality fully, that affects the child's personality. Now, as I told you, that personality can be changed. We can correct the children, all the students. We can correct all students. I mean, no matter the background or whatever, if they are ready to change, if they are ready to change themselves, definitely we can change. Now, who can change their attitude? We are unable to change anyone else's attitude, but still for all, they themselves, if we are giving the right, if we are showing the right path, this is what happens when you do this, right? If we can correct the children and in the sense, if we can show the right path, the correct path, definitely the children who are able to change themselves will be benefited from that thing. There are some cases where we cannot correct anyone. I don't know, recently I got to know one particular school, this particular child was having a big, I mean, a reasonable amount of money. So, one particular child has seen that he is having a lot of money. That child has gone and complained to the class teacher. So, the class teacher has complained, rather than telling this particular child, he has complained the sectional head. Now, the child was asked to come. So, when they were checking his purse, there were a lot of money in that purse, right? So, with the wallet, he was taken to the principal. So, when the principal was asking also, no, my father gave that money to pay the school fees. I mean, very simple. He has told that, okay, if you brought this money to pay the school fees, we'll go to the welfare and pay that, pay the school fees. But this child was telling, no, already I have paid the school fees, but I really wanted this money, so I just lied to the father. After that, I brought money. So that it's like a very conspiracy, right? With that, now this child is telling lies. It is understood. So, with that, the child was taken to a particular room to check on him, to see this one was selling drugs. So, he was found that he was hiding drugs inside his body. So, that is one of the things. Sometimes we cannot, by looking at the outer appearance, we cannot guess. We cannot judge. I mean, I don't want you all also to judge children, but still for all, when we judge only, we can put them into the correct path. So the child was asked to leave the school. The parents were asked to come to school. That particular father is the one who is sending drugs through this child. And it is not happening a recent past, but when he was in primary itself, it was happening. So this child was to sit for this A levels in May, but he was dismissed from the school. But he did not feel sad at all when he was leaving the school. So he was like keeping the bag as if it is a guitar, that he was playing the guitar. I mean, he was just pretending as if he is playing the guitar and he is just walking. So in that case, just imagine family background and the family and the place where they live. Everything matters a lot. Not only this particular child, the whole school will affect when you see these kind of children. But still, for all, it is like beyond our control, right? It is beyond our control. You know what happened to the principal? Next day, the principal was sent some pictures by this particular child, right? Don't know whether this child or what, with using another mobile phone, some guns. He was sending some pictures of guns to the principal. Just imagine the children's mentality. He is coming to school just to sell drugs, not to do anything else. Likewise, when they come from other backgrounds, so it matters a lot. At the same time, I totally agree with Tanuja. So sometimes children are very poor. They don't have a house to stay. If you get to know that Mr. Kottu, you must have heard of this Mr. Kottu thing, right? So he is selling Kottu. Now it is a big company. It's a big restaurant, right? So it was like giving tears to another person, right? So this child was very poor. But father is selling boiled chickpeas like kadala in front of a bar. So when the father is taking that particular cart, he was unable to do it all by himself. So his wife is pushing the cart from behind for him to drag it and go to that particular place. After that, mother comes back home doing some sort of work. In the sense, she is working as a maid in some houses. So in that case, this particular child, when he was going with the mother, he has heard some men were mocking at his mother. So this particular child, when he was about in grade 5, he was so upset because these people were mocking at his mother. So he has thought, I should not allow my mother to push the cart. So from that day onwards, he has asked his mother to stay behind. Instead, he was pushing the cart. So that child, was a light post in front of the cart. So until father sells chickpeas to the people who comes to the bar or who walks on the road, this child is carrying his books, right? Grade 5 scholarship books, and he's studying by sitting under that light post. After that, he has passed with colors. He was admitted to Nalanda College in the hostel, right? Because this child was coming from a rural area. He was admitted to the hostel. They could say no. Even the principal knew his background. Now today, he has obtained 3 A's, done his O levels and A levels. He has passed with colors. He was in the university. How it changed? Just imagine. Can we think of it? We are blessed with everything, but we could not achieve all these things. Now there are many workers who are working under his management. There are very rare cases like that also. And no matter the background where he comes from. But still, for all, if you have that positive attitude, right? Positive attitude, and if you have a goal and an aim, definitely you will be able to achieve that aim or the goal. Right. Next one. Abhirami, can you read this? Abhirami, you are the one who read it earlier?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Sanjuda, can you read this? Sanjuda, what happened yesterday? When it comes to the latter part, you were not there.
Some signal errors I found that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Okay. Read this, Sanjuda.
Class size matters. Understanding the link between class size and students' achievements. The discussion about importance of class size has been going for decades. While some still argue that class size doesn't make a noticeable difference in the quality of education, research has shown that it's not case. Understanding the connection between class size and student achievement as well as teacher relation is critical to the future of the educational system.
Right. Now, now we all know about the class size, how it matters. The discussion about the importance of class size has been ongoing for decades. As I told you, now from that strike, they started to have a debate, but still they were talking on that. Then while some still argue that class size doesn't make a noticeable difference in the quality of education, but I personally feel it affects a lot. Research has shown that it is not the case. Understanding the connection between class size and student achievement as well as teacher retention is critical to the future of our educational system. Now, when it comes to top jobs, what is the school, if you are looking for a teaching position, what is the school that most of the time they have vacancies? There is a particular school, every day they are advertising about the vacancies. What is that school if you come across?
Is it a private sector school, madam?
Yeah, international school.
Lyceum.
Yeah, exactly. Lyceum, there are many vacancies every day. If you go through top jobs, every day they advertise. Why is that? You have any idea, Tanuja?
There can be so many reasons. Like I'm little bit related to that school. So like good teachers nowadays, the main reason is that teachers go abroad. So there are vacancies. And another thing is that they're expanding the school and they're adding more classes and more sections to the school. So because of that also they have vacancies. Another part, for one subject, they have like the teacher and two or three assistant teachers. So that is also, I think, one of the reasons for this.
So all positive answers.
You mean like the school wise they are being very strict and the teachers are like under supervision. There are so many coordinators to check their work. That's also there, but they normally they don't take randomly people. They do a lot of interviews and all that. So maybe.
Okay, they do a lot of interviews and they select the best. We say that they select the best. And this particular teacher also provided with a good remuneration package, right? But still for all, why this teacher is not staying? You think that just because of there are many supervisors to check on her work, or there are many the workload is very much?
Yes, ma'am. And the students are also up to a certain standard. It's very difficult to sometimes teach them because they are like sometimes one step ahead from us. And the task of control is also in a certain way. That is also, I think, is a problem.
Right. In my case, teacher retention. Why teachers are not staying in the same school? Sometimes teachers come to Lyceum, within 3 months they leave. Not even for 3 months, they leave. Because I too have a connection to Lyceum Nugegoda, right? So I know basically, personally I know why these teachers are leaving. One thing is the pressure, right? They are pressurizing during COVID, how the teachers were pressurized. Even they didn't give the allowances, the traveling allowances they didn't pay, right? That's okay, but still for all they didn't pay. They said that they are charging half from the children, but they did not do that. But still for all the management falls, right? It's a family business. There are so many conflicts inside the management, so that also affect to the teacher. At the same time, the overloaded work, the teacher was taken, but most of the time a day, we'll say that Monday there will be 20 teachers absent on Monday. So the teacher who comes to school has to do the absent teachers relief work as well. That is also there. The other thing is what? Now, I know that there are one class teacher and two assistants when it comes to smaller classes.
Their classrooms are congested, miss, especially in Nubuntu.
Congested, I know. I know, especially in Nugegoda, exactly. There are 50 odd children in one particular class. Even there are disciplinarians, so-called protocol officers in all sections, right? When it comes to a particular section, there will be one protocol officer, like a disciplinarian, right? So he or she is there to check the discipline. But still for all, why these teachers are not staying in that school? Even though you are paid with a high salary, you don't want to stay. The freedom, right? The freedom. Teacher needs the freedom. In the sense, I'm not asking a teacher, at least there are 40 periods when it comes to a week. At least teacher should get 35. But still for all, teacher should have the freedom. Because since this is an international school, they think children are the business. Teachers, they don't pay that much attention to the teacher. But whatever happens, when the teacher punishes a child, now you all can't punish, I know that, right? When it comes to international school, we cannot even raise our voice. Why is that? Because when a child leaves, they think, the private schools, they think we are losing the business, right? We are losing the business. Teachers, we can find teachers, any amount of teachers now, but still for all, we cannot send a child away. So that is also there. And do you think, Tanuja, do you think without the freedom, can you work peacefully?
It's very difficult, ma'am. That's why, like, I used to be an international school teacher for 10 years, and now I don't teach in a school anymore. I do my own tuition and my own work. The same reason, because I value my self-respect and my freedom more than anything that I get. Exactly.
Exactly, right? So because of this only, teacher retention is no more there. So that is why ICM is advertising, not because of they are expanding. If they are expanding, why they are specifically say that Nugegoda branch? Why only Nugegoda branch? I'm just taking Nugegoda branch, okay? So why only Nugegoda branch? Because teachers are leaving. So is that a good? Does it give good impact on the school? No, right? Because when the teachers are leaving, they know, the outsiders, they know that something is wrong somewhere. So the retention strategy also needed in the school. So class size, when it comes to a bigger class size, teachers don't want to teach because you are dying. They say that teachers work only for 8 to 1:30, but it is not the case, right? You all are carrying the books and going home and marking the books, and when it comes to term test, you all are marking all the papers, monthly test and unit test, everything, all the tests have to be marked, right? Test papers have to be marked. So you all are doing many things. You carry everything home. Yes, of course, you are going by two, but still for all, you are carrying all the work home. After that, rather than doing the housework, you are doing the schoolwork, and to do the lesson plan and everything. How many hours you are spending a day? Actually, if we calculate, but teachers are the people that who are paid a lower salary in Sri Lanka. I'm not comparing to international schools. When it comes to international schools, they pay well, but still for all, they get the maximum out of you. If you are paid 1 lakh, right, 100,000, they will be getting at least 300,000 work from you. 300,000 worth work from you. Am I correct, Tanuja?
Yes, madam. And the stress they give, sometimes like we get like mentally down due to the stress and the way they scold and everything. That is also there. So teachers lose their self-respect. That is also one of the reasons.
Yeah, that is also one of the aspects that we should consider, right? So, however, we cannot argue with the management rather than leaving that particular school. That is also there. That is why teachers are leaving most of the time. Right. Astra, a new one. Astra, you joined recently?
I was there in first class, and the course is come today.
Your line is not clear, Astra. I didn't hear what you were saying.
I want to know if this is the first class or what is it? Because I was saying this is the first class.
All
But
right.
it seems to be not like.
Look, for the last session, you were not there, right?
They said it today onwards.
Astra, from where you are joining?
From Dehiwala.
All right, okay. So, Astra, can you read this slide?
Yes. For my clarification, this is the first session, ma'am?
This is the first session of contemporary challenges and issues. On that particular module, this is the first session.
It is a Bachelor of Education, right?
But don't worry, you will be taught with the other sessions. But the rest of the students, they have done. This is their third session, if I'm not mistaken. Tanuja, this is your third session.
I did 4.
This is the
Education
fourth one.
management,
All right. Okay.
Research methodology, leadership, and then this computer-based learning. Then this is my 5th one.
Fifth one, okay. So don't worry, Astra, you will be given time to learn those things as well again. So this is your first lesson on contemporary challenges and issues in education.
Okay. This is module number.
That I do not know.
Okay. Okay, fine. I'll read. The
Right.
link between class sizes and achievements research into the impact of class size on student achievement has been ongoing for decades. According to an article in the several times, the effects have been hard to isolate and measure. Has led to disagreements over the results. The article suggests the disagreement may have more to do with benefits outweighing the cost of opposed to actual effectiveness. In fact, the National Center for Education Statistics points out that after 2008 recession, pupil-teacher ratio increased.
Yeah, now we are talking about the link between class size and achievement. What do you think? What do you think? What is the link between class size and achievement? Is it a positive one or a negative one?
Yeah, it is positive because the class size impacts a lot in the achievements. If the class size is smaller, I mean, the teacher and the link between the teacher and the students will be high. So that can cost the achievement that we can get high achievements out of students. We can focus and the individual attention will be high with the students. Interaction between the teacher and the student will be high. And personally also we will be connected a lot. So we can study each and every student individually. So obviously the achievement will go up. Right.
And the other thing, you will be able to interact with all the children, right?
Yes.
And you have time to talk to the children. Now the thing, most of the time we don't have, as teachers, we don't have time to talk to them, right? Where it is very much needed. They don't have a person to tell their feelings. That is another thing. Sometimes they must be having a lot of issues at home, but they are unable to put it out. So the child suffers a lot. Right. Research into the impact of class size on student achievement has been ongoing for decades, as I told you earlier also. Now, according to an article in the Seattle Times, right? Seattle Times, that was a newspaper. So in that article, it says the effects have been hard to isolate and measure. It is very hard to isolate and measure, which has led to disagreements over the results. The article suggested the disagreement may have more to do with benefits outweighing the cost as opposed to actual effectiveness. In fact, the National Center for Education Statistic points out that after the 2008 recession, pupil teacher ratio increased. When the class size is smaller, when it comes to smaller classrooms, right? Smaller class, not classrooms, class size. So teacher is very free. Teacher is not stressed out, because now when a teacher is going to a particular class, if there are more than 50 children, more than 40 children, teacher is going, oh my god, I have this period now, this class now, right? Likewise only teacher is starting. So I know that how teachers are struggling. But still for all, there are no particular answers to this question right now when it comes to famous schools like Royal College, Nalanda, Anand, right? Their class size is very much bigger than the other classes, because all the children, children who pass the scholarship exams, and all the children who are in and around past students, children, likewise they accommodate, or most of the children will be accommodated, right? Now we are talking about student teacher achievement ratio. It says STAR. Student teacher achievement ratio, project in 1980. Kumara, can you read this? Kumara, you also knew? When I say Kumara, did he leave? Yeah. Okay. Sanjuda, can you read this again?
Yes, ma'am. Student Teacher Achievement Ratio, STAR, project in the 1980. The STAR project randomly assigned students to either small classes 13 to 17 students per teacher, or larger classes 22 to 25 students per teacher. In the kindergarten years alone, the study found a definite advantage for small classes in achievement.
The STAR project randomly assigned students to either small classes 13 to 17 students per teacher, or large classes 22 to 25. Now they say 22 to 25 students per teacher is a large class, right? Then I don't know what they can say when it comes to over 40 children, right? Now in Lyceum also there are 50 students in one particular class or more, isn't it, Tanuja?
Yes, madam.
Right. In the kindergarten years alone, the study found a definite advantage for small classes in achievement. Yes, if you want to, one moment, I have received a message. Okay, Vijita. It is a known fact, when there are less kids in one particular class, they can achieve higher results. Right. Tanuja, can you read this?
20 years after the STAR project was completed, the National Education Association published a policy brief concerning class size. The NEA examines the research on STAR students and focused on the long-term results from the follow-up studies. Some of the long-term results of the students who were in the smaller classes include higher student achievement levels in grade 7 language, reading, science, maths, and social studies classes. More positively reported about participating in learning. High school transcripts indicated that STAR students who were in smaller classes for a minimum of 3 years were sustainably more likely to graduate from high school. These outcomes aren't insignificant, suggesting there are many benefits to smaller classes size. Let's look at some of more detail.
Right. Higher student achievement levels in grade 7 language, reading, science, math and social studies classes. More positively reported about participating in learning. So they will feel like coming to school. When there are many children, sometimes they don't have a chair. They cannot keep desks in that particular search of chairs and desks. Sometimes, right? Then high school transcripts indicated that in one particular class, there is a high chance of achieving higher results, or else they can enter to the higher school when it comes to European countries. So these outcomes are insignificant. It is not insignificant. There are many benefits to smaller class sizes. Of course, yes. Let's look at some in more. Right? Look at the words, look at the phrase, the sentence what I have highlighted. These outcomes are insignificant. So take a paper and a pen. I want you all to work on this. I give you for you to come up with the ideas. What are the benefits that you get when it comes to smaller class sizes? At least 10 points if you can write them down. No one is answering. Then 20 points? 10
No,
points
I
and
will
10,
write
20
10
points.
points within 7 minutes.
So when I'm increasing only there, you will answering, right? Okay, then write 10 points. I give you 7 minutes. 9 2. I want you all to present your writing. Right, hope you all have done everything.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, Tanuja, can you start?
Okay. Benefits of smaller class size. Small classrooms create a positive learning environment for both teachers and students, as there is more one-to-one student-teacher interaction. The students create a positive bond with the teacher. Teacher gets the opportunity to provide more support and attention towards all the students in her class. The class becomes a community, and they build up a lifelong friendship. The teacher gets the ability to experiment new teaching strategies with her students. The class becomes more relaxed and enjoyable as the teacher has less stress. Classroom management becomes easy, and there will be less behavioral issues. The teacher has the ability to identify students who need special attention and provide support for them individually. When it comes to an exam, the students do not get the opportunity to cheat as the teacher invigilates them well. Finally, the class provides better results at the examinations.
Exactly. So they don't have a time to cheat on, right? They cannot copy. Abhirami, can you just present over?
We can pay attention to the students individually, and we can maintain the class discipline very easily. For clever students, we can give extra works in order to avoid unwanted distractions. And for slow learners, we can guide them easily when there is a need. And it is easy to rearrange the class setup according to the needs. And group activities can be performed perfectly. Doing extracurricular activities will be easier when the students' numbers are few. We can use many visual aids or teaching aids to the smaller classes, as every student can be given a chance to use them. Works done by students can be corrected then and there, and the feedbacks can be given. Students' doubts can be cleared immediately, and they will have more time for brainstorming the ideas through discussions. And exam supervisions can be done thoroughly without any lapses. And if the number of students is very low, we can easily take them to outdoor activities, or we can take them to the educational tour.
Exactly, right? See how many ideas that it comes when I give you something like this, right? Rather than me telling everything. Sanjida, we like to listen to
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Student will get higher achievement. Student with lower academic ability will get better. Student attitude might change when it is a smaller size class. Teacher could focus on each and every student. Evaluating the student will be easy, marking the book and answering the questions. Controlling the class is also will be easy for teacher if it is a smaller size of class. Student will have the more opportunity to participate in what they are studying, and also student can share their ideas and perspectives also. If that is fewer student per class, individual cannot connect more closely with their peers. Student can get to know each and other better instead of student just being in a huge number of crowd. They will behave well. They are quieter. That's all.
Right. Yeah, good. Right. I like that we can change the attitude. Of course, yes. Now we are here to change the attitude, right? We have to try hard to change the attitude. Gradually, when there is a smaller class, in a smaller class, definitely they will adjust themselves. They will adapt to the environment very soon. Likewise. Okay, Astra.
Yes. Same thing only. The teacher student interact will be very high, and teacher will get more time to give good attention to the students, and can identify the students' special skills, and she can coach on it. Students will get more opportunities to take part in other than the school, extra activities, and the opportunities to make the mistakes will be very very less. Even though they make mistakes also, that can be identified in the beginning stage and can be corrected. And moreover, the student teachers, it's important for a teacher to develop the relationship with the parents as well. So if the students are few number, then we can get to know their parents, their environment, family background. So this will help the teacher to guide student in very, very good way. So teacher will have good understanding about it and knowledge about the students' family backgrounds. So that's it. Yes.
Right, yeah. As you said, we can have a good rapport with the parents, right? So in that case, it is also needed. Sometimes parents are unable to tell all these things to the children because they, they don't they don't believe in parents. Sometimes they believe in the teachers. So in that case, it's easy for the parent to comment a teacher what to be done and what is to be, if it's the child, definitely it can be done through the teacher as well. Vijitha.
Yes, ma'am. That with that the small classes, teachers can like to teach, and that the students like to that study well, and then teacher can provide more attention to each children, and children are encouraged to collaborate with each other, their ideas and their thoughts. The participation for events is encouraged that the children, that the student can share their ideas, allow for continuous assessment and feedback, that teacher can get best results from the class, can take one-to-one session, teacher can take one-to-one session with the children,
Exactly.
and teacher can maintain good discipline in the class.
Exactly. We can maintain a good discipline in the class.
Yes. Teacher that develop a strong friendship between teacher and the children. That's all, man.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. And what I like was that children can teach the students. Of course, yes. I mean, peer learning, right? That is called peer learning. So, one particular child can teach the other children. That is the best way of learning. When you are listening to a particular person, you will, if you are learning, you will get only 10%. But if you are teaching, uh, if you are learning from a teacher, you will get like 50, right? That is teacher. That is why teachers know everything. Why? Because teachers teach every day. So after teaching every day, you will see that you will get the new syllabus, right? Totally different, a new one. So in the first year you had to struggle a bit, but from the second year onwards, definitely you will be able to do a you will be able to do a very good job on that. Right, Priyadarshini.
Teacher can have better control over the class and understanding of each individual student thoroughly. Better communication among students and teacher. Students have more opportunities to interact with the teacher, and better bonding amongst students and teacher.
Yeah, the bond between more when it comes to smaller class size. Right, okay, we'll see what are the things what I have written. The benefits of small class sizes. as mentioned above, smaller class sizes offer positive results. All the positive results, right? Small class sizes give both teachers and students several benefits that result in higher student achievement. Some benefits of small class size include the following: better teacher student relationships. Now these are the things that what you were telling, right? You came up with your idea. Student individual attention can make the difference between effectively developing skills and just coasting alone. Generally, in smaller classes, students can establish stronger relationship with their instructors. Definitely, this particular relationship gives them, to enhance their knowledge, because they are very free to talk to the teacher, because there is a good rapport between the students and teacher as well as the parents and teachers as well. Tyrone Howard, a professor of education who writes about research into students' relationships with their teachers, said, "I think schools in many ways have put the cart before the horse." Now see, cart before the horse. When you put the cart before the horse, what will happen? Nothing will happen, right? So I think schools in many ways have put the cart before the horse. What they have done is they want to jump right into academics and really dismiss or minimize the importance of relationships. So we cannot have only academics in a school, in a class, right? Then they just feel bored. They will be bored, right? And they don't want to study. Rather than studying, they can do many more things. So in that case, so without putting the cart before the horse, we will put the horse before the cart by having relationships. Okay, next, more customized instruction. Exactly, right? Teachers need to identify the specific problem that each student may have to be effective. In large classes, this may be a challenge for educators, not because their instruction is wrong, but because they don't have the resources to do so. Right? This is what has happened. Even if there is a large class, the instruction will be the same. But why this is very effective when it comes to a smaller class? Why? Because there are less children. So it goes to their head, because the unnecessary disturbance is not there. So with that unnecessary disturbance, children rather reluctant to pay attention. Friend, they love to talk. When teacher says something, they are in another world. But they cannot daydream when there is a smaller class. Right, we'll go to the next one. Priyadarshini.
Yes, ma'am. Small class sizes work because they give teachers an opportunity to
අපච්චිට කෝල් කරලා අහන්නේ එනවද කියලා?
offer students more personalized instruction, which is probably the reason that academic achievement goes up. Teachers don't necessarily change what they are doing. They are just able to increase their efficiency. Teachers who can spend more time with each student is able to tailor their teaching to specific students' needs, and in turn learning outcomes improve.
Yeah. Now when it comes to small class sizes work because they give teachers an opportunity to offer students more personalized instruction. This is also about instruction, which is probably the reason that academic achievement goes up. Right? When we give clear instructions, right, personalized instruction, definitely they will listen to you. Teachers don't necessarily change what they are doing. Are we in that particular category? Teachers don't necessarily change what they are doing. They are just able to increase their efficacy. Are we in that position? Teachers don't necessarily change what they are doing. They are just able to increase their efficacy. No one is answering.
No, we can change now.
Yeah, we can change, right? We can change. We are not in that particular position, but still for all, we we are able to increase our efficacy as well. Anyways, teachers who can spend more time with each student is able to tailor their teaching to specific students' needs, and in turn learning outcomes improves. Now Abhirami, you are the one who said that you can interact with slow learners easily, right? So you can help them, right? Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so we can give them more opportunities, right? We can give them more time. Okay, if there is a slow learner, can go according to his or her pace too. Then classrooms become more collaborative. Someone said this. I can't remember. Vijita, I think Vijita said this. Right? Classrooms become more collaborative. Right? In large classes, students tend to interact with people they know. It's easy for some students to become outsiders or for cliques to form. In smaller classes, students will engage with each other and form relationships. When there are a fewer students, definitely they will interact with everyone. So the collaboration is more when it comes to smaller classes. So the effect is a cohesive group of students who support and learn from one another. Now, when students feel more comfortable with all their peers and their teacher, they will likely feel more relaxed, engaging, and asking questions. Right? Then they feel like they are very comfortable in that classroom. So they feel like they are not sleepy, they are not daydreaming, they live in the present moment. So in that case, it is very easy for a teacher to identify or collaborate with the students quickly. This can make sometimes when we are controlling the class, 15 minutes gone, right? So when the class is settled, the time is elapsed. So in that case, what happens? Teacher has to go without doing the class. So the teacher is ready with the lesson plan and everything, the syllabus and the notes and everything. But if the classroom is not, if the class is not settled, if the children are not settled, what happened to the teacher? Teacher is unable to deliver the lesson. So in that case, what can we do? We are unable to provide everything. So this can make it less likely for a student to fall behind and encourage them to become more engaged in their learning. Classroom become more collaborative. Then next one. Topics are explored in depth. Exactly. Now, for example, I always take this example, right? Uh, digestive system, right? Whatever it is. Even if you are a teacher who will teach the language, even Sinhala, right? The topics are explored in depth. What will happen? You can explore the topic in depth. Sometimes we have to drag everything because as I told you, the teacher is ready to deliver the lesson in the class, but the control in the class, it takes time. Then to settle all when the children are settling down, it takes time. When they ask questions, it takes time. So there are more students, right? So in that case, teacher is unable to explore the topic in depth. But when the class size is small, teacher has the time to explore everything in depth. Right. Asra, can
Topics are explored in depth. Small class sizes let teachers reduce time spent on discipline and organization, meaning they spend more time with instruction. With fewer students in classrooms, teachers can explore topics in depth and expand on themes that students show interest in. When teachers have more time to engage all their students consistently, students will likely get a deeper education on more topics. When their questions and interest can guide how a teacher dives into a topic, they are likely to be more receptive to the lessons as well.
Right, this is what happens, right? Students will likely to get a deeper education on more topics. So rather than wasting our time, we can spend our time what? How can we spend our time?
Explaining, going to inside the topics, and if you can show some visuals or diagrams very clearly, so that will go to students rather than just talking and explaining. If you draw and show something, that will go to the students.
Yeah, as I always tell, picture speaks thousand words, right? When you want to speak a thousand words, you can do it by showing one particular picture, right? In that case, you can use everything, even if you are to show them a YouTube video, right? Whatever the video, if it is a smart classroom, or else you can take the children where there is a smart board, and you can do many things. Now, when it comes to CIS, Colombo International School, the class size is very small. There are many classes, parallel classes, but class size is small. Why? Then only the students will be benefited more. Right. Teachers stick around. Yes, teachers stick around. Small class sizes make it easier to manage the learning environment and give educators a sense of pride in the classroom. So teachers are happier and feel more fulfilled when they can provide quality instruction. Right? Am I correct? All the teachers, they want that particular satisfaction after when it comes to 1:30. Right? Most of the teachers do not get this satisfaction. Why? They are stressed out. Instead, they are stressed out. So teachers provide quality instruction. This means they will stick around longer, giving every school or university the benefit of expert instructors. So teachers stick around. I hope you will agree with this. So lead the way to better class size. Abhinami, can you read this?
Sure, ma'am. Lead the way to better class sizes. Tomorrow's teachers will undoubtedly need to take leadership roles in ensuring that education meets their students' needs. Bethel University is ahead of the curve with small class size achievement.
Yeah, right. Now it says tomorrow's teachers will undoubtedly need to take leadership roles in ensuring that education meets their students' needs. So that is our objective, one of the objectives, to meet their students' needs. And there will be a positive impact on student achievement when it comes to small class sizes. Now we are talking about the impact of poverty on educational outcomes for children. Now, again there will be a small homework, not homework, some work to be done. In the sense, now the first topic is, no, yeah, contemporary challenges in issues in education. Now we are talking about the impact of poverty on educational outcomes for children. Now see what will be the impact when it comes to poor children, right? We say that very poor children are, so what will be the impact in the classroom or on their educational out. 10.7 minutes, right? 9:37 sharp. I want you all to finish it. 10 points on this topic. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. 2 more minutes. All right. Can we have Abhirami first? Abhirami? Vijit?
Yes.
Abhirami, yeah.
Yeah. First of all, they won't have enough money to spend for their food items. They mostly skip their breakfast and study with the empty stomach, which in turn will result in a very drawback, very much disadvantages for them because they cannot focus on their education with a hungry mindset. And their requirements at school cannot be fulfilled. Their exercise books or other relevant stationary things cannot be bought in time, so which can also affect their studies. And they might get punishments from teachers if they are unable to bring the needed things to the classroom. If they are going for part-time jobs, they will not find time for their studies, and they may also get punishment when there is no time for them to do their homeworks as well. And most of the children who are undergoing with criminal acts are belonging to the poverty background. So those children cannot express their situation in the school as well. So in this, they are very, they are used in, they are misused in several ways by the society, because poor children cannot be questioned by anyone else or cannot be taken care about by anyone else. So in that case, the students will lack motivation and lack interest in their studies as well. And sometimes they may not find time to relax and play at home when they support their parents in their earnings. In this situation, the child will feel tiresome, and that also will result in the lack of interest and attention paid to the particular education by the child.
Good. Now we have experience, right? Children come without the breakfast, without having their breakfast, they come to school. After that, what will happen? A lot of problems. Sometimes poverty brings a lot of problems, bring lot of problems into the classroom. So, Vijita,
Hello. Yes,
yeah, yeah, Vijita.
that because of the poverty, the lack of money, they can't provide that their essential foods like that essential things. They are not giving more attention to the education. That, and and they have a lot of shortage of that essential items for the education, that for the going to school, uniforms and other things. And because of that, they don't pay more attention to that education, and that neglect which is there in that in that environment, that more for our children, that there is more neglectedness, and that they are that because of their poverty, they know that the, the parents are they tend to that they earn money for that, they are trying to find that some money. Because of that, they don't go to schools, and education is very poor in that society. And that's
Yeah, good, Vijita. Priyadarshini?
Yes, ma'am. The impact of poverty can affect educational outcome of children in many ways. First one is malnutrition. If child afford good nutritional meal, that will affect to physical growth and concentration education. Inaccessibility to educational resources. Inaccessibility to education such as study materials, and involvement of parents' income generation activities, sacrificing their education. As example, if there's a family business, children also have to contribute to it. That's all, ma'am.
Right, okay. So, when it comes to family business and if the children are contributing towards that, so how does that affect on the education? In the sense, it is just because of poverty or what? Priyadarshini? Right, okay. When it comes to poor children, poor families, of course, yes, sometimes business to overcome. Like they will cook something that they will be selling. So in that case, even they cannot hire workers. In that case, children have to contribute. So that also affect the kids as well. Okay, Asra, this is your turn.
Yes. I think first of all, the parents' support and the guidance for the child will be very less. So, in sometimes they don't get anything from parents. And when the child is not provided with the necessary equipments, he or she will obviously lose the interest in studies because she won't be able to cope up. And the child's attendance will be very poor. Sometimes that may cause the child to drop down from, stop schooling also. And you cannot implement extracurricular activities and the sports and all to these children. And in few places, the children can be get bullied, but now these days it's not most of the time, but in few places it happens. So that also mentally can affect the child. And of course, they are not much aware about the importance of the studies. They don't get support from the school also. We cannot expect 100% support from the school. So that child also want outcome with whatever the things that they are having. So this must cost the child, will draw back their study.
Yes. So, thank you for sharing your experience and the knowledge. Tanuja?
Yes, madam. Poverty will cause more stress on the student. It will negatively affect the student's performance in school. These students have less resources at home, therefore they find it difficult to complete their homework assignments. Due to poverty, child may face health problems and even poor nutritional levels, malnutrition can occur. So therefore the child might find it difficult to concentrate in the classroom. The students may find it difficult to buy the accessories needed for extracurricular activities and sports. Maybe the child is very good in sports, but he cannot afford to buy the necessary stuff, so he can't take part in it. There are certain students, like personally, I know they help the poor students by giving the spikes, the shoes, and everything, but that rarely happens. So these children, and another thing, they don't want to open up and tell that I can't afford to buy them. So sometimes because of that, they try to avoid those periods, not to come to school on the day they have PT. Those kind of things can happen. The student himself might try to hide from the others to avoid certain school events, as his family could not afford it. Like when we go on a trip and when we ask the child, he does no, miss, I have something else on that day. That is like he can't express himself openly because they are children. They feel like scared and shy to help the others, so they avoid all these things. Extreme poverty can stop schooling also sometimes because there are so sometimes this happens especially for the girls. They have to stay at home and look after their siblings. If they have younger brothers and sisters, like I personally know, like after the child, the girl attend, some parents, now it's enough. No need to go to school. You stay at home and you look after. Anyway, you are going to get married, so you learn how to cook and all. These things also can happen, especially for the girls. Poverty affect in a very negative way. They get discriminated by their peers, they get bullied, and sometimes I have my experience where the others come and miss, he is very poor, miss, he can't join, he can't do. So that kind of attitude can come in their peers, label the child. So and so is a poor child, he can't afford. So it should be the other way around, where they should get together and help this person. So I think teacher also has a big impact in the classroom, where she has to create a positive attitude, like no discrimination in my class. Everybody is there won't be anyone to support them at home. Like sometimes we give difficult tasks to do at home, where the child needs some support, and their parents, maybe they also, like their background is also in a certain way. The parents, there is nobody to support the child. So next day when the child comes to school and when the assignment is not done, the teachers scold the child, but the child is actually in a very poor situation where he can't have any support or help to do it. Finally, the child can he get confused. Some children, they hide when they get bullied. Some children come in another way. They themselves become the bullies and they bully the others before others bully them. That also happens with these people. I have both way examples, like where the child get hide from the others, so the child becomes himself some kind of a bully, where before others tell any word to him, he started bullying the others and he tries to take the control over the others. Both can happen.
So thank you so much for your input in this regard. Like Asra said that bullying can be happened just because of their poverty, right? And Tanuja said that they become very aggressive sometimes because they know that they cannot express, and they look at now. This happens in when it comes to in museums. I can remember most of the children, most of the, I mean, all the girls are there in museums, right? So most of the children are bringing this Smiggle pencil case. Smiggle pencil case, at that time it was like about 5 years back, it was about 6,000 rupees, a pencil case. So you must be knowing, all the ladies there, you must be knowing what a Smiggle
I
pencil case.
know that incident. I know it personally. You are 100% correct, madam. I know it.
So right, so when your friend is bringing, you also want it. So what happens? Ultimately, you are worrying your parents. The students go worrying the parents. After that, what happens? So they will be, thoroughly disgusted because they think that only my parents are unable to buy things for me. Just the same way that particular bottle, what is that? Nike bottle, right? So Nike bottle is very famous in boys. All the boys are having, most of the boys are having that Nike bottle. It gives them the sporty look also, right? So in that case, when it comes to branded things also, the poverty, these children take these things to home as well. So what will happen? Even the whole family will be affected. So these children, when it comes to their poor parents, these children hate their parents because they think only my parents cannot afford. But still for all, that is not the truth, right? So we should, so, ultimately what happened was, museums, they had to ban in bringing these Smiggle pencil cases. So they were like stopping everything, no more branded items. So just the same thing happened when it comes to this, what do you call, spinning thing, what do you call that, what is it? Ah, yeah, okay, exactly. That figure thing. So in that case, when it came, it was bit expensive. Now it is freely available. As it came, but because these children, they go to countries, no, when it comes to term holidays, most of the children in museums and in international schools, they go to Singapore, they go to Bangkok, they just go for a holiday and come back. What happens? They bring all sort of knowledge. After that, they are like showing off. So this happens, and we'll see what I have written. Oh no, I forgot Sanjuda. I'm sorry, Sanjuda.
Yes, ma'am. There are many impacts in poverty.
Sanjuda, can you just increase the volume?
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Yeah.
The poverty will impact the student in many ways. The first thing I wrote is they stop going to school and they get absent very often into school. They say, and the second point is they can fulfill their educational needs. When we ask to take a printout, they might say, "No, ma'am, we don't have." Ability to success in academically and in socially in school environment. As they said the earlier, the discrimination will be happen in the school. The poor children will be in the back in the class, backside in the classroom always. Next one is there the poverty will affect their mental health also. It will affect their results. That's all I know.
Yeah, good, very good. Right now, when it comes to poverty, these children, they tend to miss the school, right? Like Tanuja said, girls, when they attain their age, right? What happened? They stop the school. This happens mainly in Muslim families, right? They don't want the girl to be exposed to the society once they attain their age, right? But still for all, that child has the right to study. I have a personal experience. This particular child was coming and begging me to tell the parents, because they one particular, I can't remember exact thing. So it is like Bora community or whatever. I can't remember. I don't know whether it is Bora, but still for all, this child was getting married. Mothers were forcing her to get married when she became 18 years. But she was there to do her A levels. But without doing her A levels, she is very good at her studies. Definitely, she will be getting 3 A's if she was to sit for the examination. But this child was forced Nobody could stop. Even the school was involved. Ultimately, she had to get married to that particular person. So that is also Muslim, but we cannot stop some things, right? The culture, the society, everything affects when it comes to education. Not that these children are very poor, right? The poverty, not only not because of the poverty, but still for all, sometimes, as Tanuja said, uh, children, when it comes to girls, they stay behind to cook and to look after siblings. This happens when the mother is not in this country. Mother is going as a housemaid to another country. The poor girl has to look after the entire family. What is her work? Her work is to send the siblings to the school and to cook or to look after the house. So there are some children, they do everything by waking up early in the morning, they do everything and they go to school also. But how can a child sacrifice a life like that? So if we were to sacrifice like that, will we be able to do everything? No, I really don't know. So these parents also they should have the concern about the children, because it is their right to teach or to allow them to learn. Okay, we'll see what are the things that I have mentioned. Oh, 3 more minutes. Educational outcomes are one of the key areas influenced by family incomes. Children from low income families often start school already behind their peers who come from more affluent families. This is also very true. When it comes to parents who can afford, they put the children into the best Montessori when it comes to 2.5 years old, 2.5 years, right? Sometimes with 2 years they will be putting the children into a daycare or the particular Montessori. So the child will be benefited in many ways, right? She or he will be exposed to a routine, right? According to the timetable. Likewise, the children will be benefited. At the same time, they will be lacking the mother's love because mother is not around. So likewise, there are so many things. The incidence, depth, duration, and timing of poverty will all influence a child's educational attainment, along with community characteristics and social network as well. So poverty remains a stubborn fact of life even in rich countries like Canada. There are, even not only in Canada, most of the countries, but I have never seen such beggars on the road in Sri Lanka, because they have a particular tent. They say that homeless give some money. That's it. Right? They will not beg like that, right? Go behind and ask money. Sometimes they do, but still for all, there are many homeless people. Unlike in Sri Lanka, they are looked after well, but they were not provided with liquor. But these people want to buy liquor most of the time. That is why they are on the road. Otherwise, homeless people, they have these like hostel kind of things. They will be provided with 3 meals also, but they don't like to stay in those. The doll what they get, they sell it to a cheaper price, because for the doll, the card, they are not given liquor. In order to buy liquor, they sell that particular card, and they take money from the people and they go buy liquor. So likewise, even in European countries, they are facing a lot of issues and challenges when it comes to poverty. Right? Age appropriate social new experiences, age appropriate social knowledge. Sometimes the social knowledge is not there among poor kids, right? When it comes to poor families. And competence, not that the competence is not there, but they don't know. Then age appropriate language skills. So when it comes to poor families, parents, they are unable to send the children into private classes also, so the language skills will be very low. or it is not developed. And age appropriate general knowledge and cognitive skills. These are at a very low level. However, the time has come. I have a few more slides to explain. I think about 5 more slides. But what I can do is I will share the slides poverty and educational attainment, then reversing the effects of poverty, breaking the cycle of poverty. This is where we should focus on. We should break when there is a chain. If one particular, if we can break in one particular moment, then definitely we will be able to break the cycle of poverty. Understanding how poverty is the main barrier to education. So it says education is a basic human right that opens doors for people to lead healthy lives and contribute to their communities. To end extreme poverty by 2030, we must invest in quality education for all. But I don't know how far this is true now. In 2030, we may have to face a lot of challenges, right, with the situation of the country. Then how can we end extreme poverty? Through education. Of course, yes, education is the most valuable thing if someone wants to come out of their poverty. And that's it, right? So those things you better go through the slides. I'll be sharing the slides with the university. So after that you will be getting very soon. Right, any questions regarding this? No more questions, everything is clear?
Yes, ma'am, clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, right? Okay. So in that case, we have to stop the class. We'll meet next Saturday at 8 o'clock. And meanwhile, if you have a question regarding the assignment, please drop an email. I will answer within 24 hours.
Okay, ma'am, sure.
I shared my email address with you all, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah. When will I get the recordings? Because I couldn't join from the beginning. I missed few slides. When will I
So you
get?
will be getting, within this week, you will be getting.
Thank you.
Within 2 or 3 days, you will be getting the presentation
Thank you.
and the recording. So we'll see you on next Saturday.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. God
Thank you for
bless you.
joining. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you soon.